Hey everybody, this is Eric with the Dramatic, and we are back with another episode of the Backbeat. This time I have my good friend Ash Wells and his channel Drums by Ash Wells with me. Ash, how are you, man?
Hey, dude, how's it going? Pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invite. I've been looking forward to this all day. And just, we were saying, obviously, we've been talking for half an hour before here and record. But yeah, we could just talk. But it's the first time we've actually spoken properly, and it's awesome. Very surreal as well.
Yeah, I love it. It's cool to connect with people, but then it's cool to be able to connect with somebody in the most obviously not in person because we're on different continents. Thank you
Yeah.
for technology. But to kind of spend some real time, talking and everything. So, dude, you are, correct me if I'm wrong about this, but relatively a young drummer in terms of starting, right? Or
Yeah. Yeah, very much. So I started playing when I turned 37 in May 2019. Um, Man, that feels like a long time ago.
doesn't it?
2019? Yeah, 2019. So a year before COVID. And yeah, my wife bought me as a present for my birthday. She bought me four lessons, I think. She found a local guy called John Joy, who is still my drum teacher today. And yeah, because I always said I always wanted to play the drums. I've told the story before about how at an open day at my secondary school, what you would call high school in the States, you would choose the instrument you want to learn. And I would want to do the drums. My parents didn't let me. Of course not. What parent is going to let their kid play the drums? So I ended up playing guitar and did it for a few years. I never got that good at it. But yeah, I told that story to my wife. The next thing you know, I've got these lessons. So I remember I went along to it, and yeah, it was just awesome, and it just went from that really. From I've always had weekly lessons, so the only time I don't, I think I skip a week for Christmas, and then sometimes my drum teacher's away. It's not very often. He's a workaholic as well. Even during COVID, it was on Zoom, so I still continued then. And I'm turning 40 this May, so it's 3 years this May. So what I effectively did from starting, I didn't buy a kit straight away. I thought, right, let's see how the lessons go. Really enjoyed it. I got a really, really cheap kit, like 50 quid it cost me. And on Facebook Messenger, on Marketplace, sorry, Facebook Marketplace. It did the job, but then, wanted something better. So ended up going for my first kit, the Roland PD1 DMK. And then with that came the ability to record via USB MIDI. And I think it was February, so nearly a year of playing. And I was like, oh, just posted a video. I think it was a song from the Grade One book. Bruno Mars has got a song in there. And I posted a video on Facebook. Oh, I've been learning drums, by the way. I don't think I'd really posted it before, and got some good comments. And then started looking at YouTube. Oh, maybe I could do a YouTube channel. Who knows? And it just kind of lifted off from there. So my YouTube channel turns 3 next week on the 4th of March,
Nice.
which is nuts because you've got the same anniversary, right, for your YouTube channel?
Yeah, we're March 24th, and this is our
Yeah,
2 year anniversary since we
yeah.
actually started producing content.
Yeah,
Um,
so 2 years from me, so we're snap, really.
yeah.
We started our channels pretty much at the same time.
Well, it has been really cool. A lot of guys get on and they do drum covers, but you've been very like, hey, I'm learning, I'm taking lessons, using the sheet music to help me learn, what I'm hearing
Mm.
and how it applies to the kit, and to watch your journey, in growth from book one. I'm not sure where you are now, but it's
I've got two more songs to record from the grade three book, so I'm
nice.
pretty much starting grade four now. I actually just recorded a grade three song today,
Nice.
for my channel, so I've got two to record. I've only got one that my teacher needs to sign me off, but he's pretty much there with it. So, but there's one that's a pain in the ass. Even though he did sign me off, I'm still struggling with it. I struggle with the bass drum on the of a beat, especially if
Okay.
there's two in a row. The lining up of that, my hi-hat hand goes funny. and it's like I do an extra hi-hat with that beat, and it's
Right. I get it. I get that.
in that song, and I have managed to do it, but then I once he signed it off, I haven't played it since, and now I tried to do it again, and I can't. So
Yeah.
I've got to work at this song again that was signed off like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So
I get it. There's certain songs that do take more to get the
yeah,
tech that you know what's happening, you can hear it, but making your hands and feet, mechanically work it out. I'll stop a song and be like, boom, dot, dot, dot. Oh, well, that's easy. Then you just try to get it up to speed or whatever it is. And you're like,
yeah.
okay, there we go. So there's a lot of that for me where I'm like, okay, this isn't right. It's not jiving the way it should, but
Mm.
it's super cool. And when I started watching your channel, which we're talking about earlier, I think you said you had about 30 subs. You're almost at 1,000 subs, which is super cool.
Oh,
Big,
Jesus, man.
big time.
925 as of today.
That's awesome.
You set yourself goals, and the thousand's always that golden number with YouTube, isn't it? I mean, at first it's 100, right? Oh my God, 100, I can have my own custom
Yeah.
URL. It took a year to get 100, and I don't think that would have happened without the community, particularly the drummers to watch one and Matthew,
Yeah.
Drum Man 190. Like I said, from 30 to pretty much double in a week because of that got me up to 100. And now, yeah, I think it was a year ago, 2 weeks ago, I hit 100 last year. So to nearly add 900 to that in a year. And yeah, so I'm starting to think, okay, I'm actually going to hit 100 pretty soon, rather than am I going to hit 1,000? Oh, I am going to hit 1,000.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nuts. I don't quite know what I'm going to do when I hit it, to be honest. Is it like every time it goes up by one, I get this weird feeling. Oh my God, it's like 75 more. So I don't really know what to do with myself. I'm more a flutter. I don't know how I'm gonna. I'll probably do like a very emotional live stream in tears, floods of tears. Ah.
I love it.
Um, but I guess it's like, okay, well, what's next? 2000.
Yeah. There's always a new goal to set.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't really
Absolutely. Well,
know.
it's been cool to watch your channel grow, and it's been cool to watch you grow as a drummer. You said there was one comment you said to me privately in a thing we did. You're like, you're so relaxed. I want to be that relaxed. And I'm watching in your videos, like you become more and more relaxed with your
Yeah,
yeah. It's
I'm
good.
getting there. I mean, we've all had it. When you hit the record button, everything goes to shit. You might have played
Right.
something a million times. And I really had that bad. And one thing that's really helped me is doing my monthly live performance. I mean, I can bash out my epic series now, and I know I can play it. And then I'll make silly mistakes during the live stream because I'm so tense. So I'm finding ways to relax. And at first I thought, okay, well, if I just become an expert in the song, but no, it's something happens when you hit that record button.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just through time, and I guess I'm getting more comfortable talking on camera as well. Although I did record my monthly update, and I've never said so many times in 2 minutes as I did on my March monthly update. So I apologize, everybody.
Oh,
I don't know what came to me. I
I
should
didn't
really
notice.
pre-script it. I should really pre-script it and like have you can get those apps now like the teleprompters. I should really do that.
There you go.
But that will probably still say when if I typed it.
I typed ah man. I thought I could correct this. That's
Yeah,
awesome. That's awesome. So
yeah.
so we know you love drums. The journey you've been on has been very cool to watch, both the growth of your channel and you as a musician. And you also are a family man, right? You have young kids and
Oh, yeah. Well, you can see the pictures in the background, right?
I love
So
it.
yeah, my wife Claire, we've been together actually next week, March the 2nd, we've been together 11 years, and we actually timed it really well. We got married on the same day that we met 2 years later. So I don't have to remember more than one anniversary. When we got together, when we got married, they're the same day. It's awesome.
Perfect
So
planning.
9 years, yeah, 9 years married, which is awesome. She's great. And yeah, she puts up with me even though, and I know the drums drove her nuts, particularly during lockdown. Because one of the reasons I think I progressed really well, all I did during lockdown was play my drums, man. Jeez, you know what I mean? I'm so thankful. I was so thankful to have that outlet as well,
Yeah.
and at least that was time well spent. But yeah, she's very happy. I've cooled things down on my channel. I just do one cover a week now rather than the two I was doing, and I still practice every day, but it tends to be at this time when she's bathing the kids right now, so she doesn't tend to hear it too much. Only at the weekend does she hear it. And then obviously we've got Felicity and Thomas. So Felicity is 8, who is just full of energy, and she's actually started her own YouTube channel.
Very cool.
So I'm editor and producer, I guess. She's the talent. So it's just a bit of fun, she'll play an iPad games or do karaoke. But it's fun, it's fun for her. But she's just full of energy, and she's awesome, man. You know what I mean? And being my firstborn, there's no feeling like that, man. It's like, oh my God. Yeah, it made a man out of me, I think, because I was what, 31 when we had her, and yeah, it's kind of life started then really. And then Thomas, who is crazy, and I love him to bits. He's actually autistic, which is obviously a challenge, but he's awesome. Wouldn't change him for the world. He's absolutely amazing.
Love that.
Becoming a gamer as well, loving Mario. Long gone are the days that I have to let him win, where I actually struggle to beat him on anything now.
He's
What
actually
happened to
kicking
those
butt.
days, man?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's funny. There was a time like that with my kids too. I was like, and then I'm like, I'm trying my hardest, and
Or,
they,
actually, at first I was like, I can't let him always win. He has to, when he's good enough to beat me, he will beat me. Like, I can't just let him win. But yeah, no, not anymore.
now you're like, now when you win, it's like you don't have to let me win, Thomas. I'm not that. I'm
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's flipped. Yeah, he's letting me win, definitely.
That's fantastic. I love it. I love it. Um, and so obviously we all know that, or if anybody follows your channel, we know that you're in the UK, which is cool.
Yeah,
I hope it's okay to
yeah,
say this, but I love when
of
you
course.
talk on camera because like as a somebody from the States, I love the way people in the UK talk. I love the way that it sounds, and I find myself
Okay.
trying to mimic it in my head. It's crazy. It's a crazy problem, but
Go on, do your best British accent. Come on, I won't be insulted.
oh, all right. Let's see. I'm here talking with Ash Wells. We're good friends. He's like a brother to me. And is that okay? Is that pretty good or is that terrible?
I don't I don't know where in the UK that's from, but my accent's
It was probably
quite
like 5 places.
unique. Yeah, I'm from like the southwest, which is Wiltshire, which is kind of farm country. So it's quite a unique. I mean, there's so many different accents in the UK, but it's kind of a proper, especially when me and my dad talk, especially if we've had a drink, it will be very strong, very kind of farmer, and the R's are very pronounced.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like that in the United States. Like it's all and even there, like it's all we're speaking the same language, but there's all these different dialects of it, and it's fascinating to me. Like here, people in the South are like, "You're not from here, are you?" I'm like, depends on who I'm talking to. Somebody starts talking like, yeah, I got my tractor out the other day. I'm like, yeah. Oh, well, and I'm like, what just happened? That's awesome. That's awesome. I was telling you before, this is like England and Scotland and Ireland, like that whole area is on mine and Loretta's bucket list of places to
Yeah,
travel. That's
get over here, man. Get over here.
good. We'll make it a point to go to the Wiltshire area there so we can.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a lot of UK folk in our community, but we can definitely hook up with Virtual Drummer, who's in London. I'm not sure where Tyson Wade is, but I'm sure we can all liaise, as there's not too many of us in the UK. I can't think of any other
Um,
British boys. Oh, my buddy TW Drums, he's in the UK as well.
okay.
Isaac Drums,
Oh,
but
yep,
he's a
yep.
youngin. He can have a beer. He's still in school. He can have
He
a
can't
beer with
hang
us.
out with us.
Yeah,
No,
it's
I'm
a school
kidding.
night.
We love you, Isaac.
Yeah. But yeah, we should do something. Yeah, so get your butt over here across the pond.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and work on my accent so I can blend in with the locals. Tell me what else you enjoy doing when you're not playing the drums.
What do I do? Movies, really into movies. In fact, I've always been more into movies than music. I mean, actually playing the drums has got me into music more than I've ever been. But whereas people would put music on in the background, I'm more likely to put a movie on my iPad. I've seen 1,000 times. You just have that playing on the
Right.
background. You know what I mean? So movies, big time, obviously. Star Wars, The Dark Knight, Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, the
Yep.
Matrix trilogy. I'm not too sure on the fourth one. I have to watch it again.
I haven't seen it
But yeah,
yet,
just
so
always, always been into my movies. TV stuff as well, particularly now. I mean, how good is TV right now, right? Disney Plus, Netflix. Oh my God, we've never had it so good. These
right.
kids don't know how good they got it, right? Jesus.
That's
Like,
that's right.
but then in America, you've always had a lot of channels, right? Until probably 95, 96, we only had four channels on TV. Four,
Yeah.
like four channels. And you had to watch what they were showing. You couldn't choose it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It wasn't like, what do I want to watch tonight? It's like, well, let me pick
Yeah.
what's on and see.
But
Well, when I was growing up, we had probably that many channels. I've got a few years on you, and but not as many as you might think. By the way, you laughed. No, I'm kidding. But you had to go up and turn the dial, and adjust the rabbit ears to watch the Dukes of Hazard or Knight Rider or A Team or something.
classics, classics. But yeah, I mean, but like TV, like the new Star Wars TV shows are just immense, aren't they? Mandalorian,
Mm.
Boba Fett. Oh my God, Obi-Wan's going to be epic. All the Marvel TV stuff into Marvel. But yeah, we were talking before as well. I've started going to Comic-Con. I've been to Comic-Con 3 times now. Which I need to go to America to do a Comic-Con because you guys do it properly. But the UK version's okay. But yeah, in my little corner, and let me switch my camera over because I was saying to you before, one of the reasons that drew me to your channel, not just the drumming, but your man cave, right? With like, so yeah, I've got my man shelf, so a bit of Back to the Future, a bit of Ghostbusters, a bit of Star Wars, Lost. I love Lost so much. Got my posters, and then obviously got me my little drum corner that I've decorated since my channel
Yeah.
started. If you look at my first covers, the just white walls. There's no personality, like you know what I mean. And then, but yeah, so obviously more posters and action figures and stuff. But yeah, into that stuff really. But music wise, always been into people like Foo Fighters, Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park. But I wouldn't say I was ever passionate about music. But certainly playing the drums has really done that for me. And I never thought I'd be so musical, but it's weird, isn't it? Yeah, it's a different musical, isn't it? The drums. It's hard to explain. It's not melodies and a tune, right? It's different. I,
Absolutely, and kind of
I
learning.
guess it's technical, isn't it? It's more like the tech side of it.
Yeah, I
Um,
always like to view it as like we're the backbone of what's happening in the song. If
mm.
if we're doing our job right, everybody else can do their job right. Of course, we play with tracks, so if something's wrong, it's us. It's not the track.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, but I've always been into technology as well. So, I think this is why I've enjoyed YouTube so much. It's not just the playing, but the video editing, the sound editing, the whole production, and everything I do. I just love all that completely. It's awesome. Um,
Awesome. That's cool. The creation of it is for me is as fun as the drumming itself. Like
yeah.
I, I love to talk with Loretta and figure out how we're gonna change slightly so it's not always the exact same thing, maybe with the exception of one or two cameras. And then how are we gonna light this and
Mm.
and how much fog are we gonna put in here, and how
Oh, I do like your fog effect when that comes on. I was like, yeah, yeah.
we
But
love
there's
it.
certain type of song you use that on, isn't there? It's not you because you don't use it all the time. I'm like, okay, pretty
Right.
special type of song when you use it.
We'll
Yeah.
sometimes use a little bit just to let the lights be a little diffused and to make the
Mm.
ones that are in front when she gets behind me so you could see the rays of the light. But
Yeah.
if it gets really thick, it's really special. We're really doing
It's like me with the cap. I only bust out the cap either when I'm talking to you, because obviously, but also, if it's an epic track or someone like Sum 41 that I just did, you got to wear a baseball cap for a song like that.
yeah,
Like you have to.
absolutely. I'm a
Tough.
big hat person because as a bald guy, like there's not a lot of ways I can change up my look. I can't color my hair a different crazy color. I can't change the haircut. So I'm like, well, hats it is.
Well, I like to say it's a choice, right? But really, there was a reason that I shaved my head. Let's face it. Um,
Understand,
so,
understand.
yeah.
See, we'll go ahead and I just shaved it today, so it's glossy. But
Oh man,
this
I just wanna wax your dome, dude. It just looks awesome.
this is what
Yeah.
both of our viewers want to hear us talk about, right?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
our
And
bald
and
heads.
if you need an extra lighting, for your drum attic, you just take the hat off and
That's
boom.
right, and it
Yeah.
lights the whole room up.
Disco ball, disco ball head.
I love it. I love it. Well, tell me real quick. I'm going to kind of circle back around
Mm,
to your channel because we've talked, through Instagram and stuff too about this. I've been so impressed with. There's no other word that I can think to describe the way your channel has grown, the trajectory of your channel, other than explosive. We both hit 300 subs around the same time, and
yeah.
now this what I'm about to say is not meant to sound like we're competing with each other. We're not. I sell it like I get really excited when my friends succeed. That makes me really happy. And but then I do go, okay, what can we do? What do we need to change? But we hit 300 about the same time, and now we're at about like 640 almost, and you're getting ready to hit 1,000, and it felt like you went from 300 to 1,000 overnight.
It did explode pretty quickly there. I don't really know what happened. The 700s went quick. Was it the 7 or the 800s? Because when actually no, it must have been 800s because obviously Drumman's doing load of collabs, right? He seems to be doing a collab every week, and we did one, and I got like 30 subs when I did my collab with him, which has never happened before. I was like, oh my God. It's like when he discovered me. It's like, oh my God.
Same
But
here.
apart from that uplift, I don't know. I'm just like my channel, my publishing and what I do for my channel. I'm quite regimented with my day when it comes to in the community. So the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, I get online straight away, and I make sure I discover at least 5 new drummers, and I interact with them on YouTube. It's got to be the right. I'm not interacting with anyone. It's got to be music that I like, for example. But also, if they've got over 1,000 subs, I might interact with them. But it's the ones under 1,000 subs that I'm trying to communicate with. Um, but hopefully, if I go over 1,000, please do interact with me. I don't know, I'm kind of contradicting myself here.
Don't
But yeah,
stop. Don't stop interacting.
yeah, I like to find people that have low numbers or are new and kind of get them going, and so I always do that. I think the Two Drums Facebook collaboration group helps as well. So whenever I see a collaboration, I usually reach out to them and say, "Oh, I'd love to see this on my group." I do that collaboration of the week as well. I do a daily post on all my social media, but it's not as hard as you think because I use a great website called Buffer, I think it's called. So you just post on there and it flings it out everywhere, and you can schedule those as well.
That's cool.
So it's not like I have to log in and do the same here. So I make sure I do a daily post, at least one daily post. Um, yeah, apart from that, but I feel like you do that anyway. So I don't know what the secret is or why. I certainly know so many better drummers than myself. With really no low numbers, like not even 100 yet, which I just don't understand sometimes. But I
I
don't
get that.
really know.
Like, how do you not have a million?
Yeah, yeah. How are you not like 1,000? Yeah, or at least 1,000? How can you not be more? But
Right.
But yeah, yeah, it's happening pretty quick. Let's hope it doesn't stop. Like it might stop now, and then but nothing would be
I
make me
don't think
happier if we hit 1,000 at the same time. That
that
would be
well, I got a lot of
monumental.
catching up to do. But I've been using those things that you just said because I reached out to you and I
Mm.
said, "Hey, man, you're like you are working this thing and it's impressive. What are you? I don't know if I said it like that, but that was the gist. What are you doing?" And you said those two things. I'm engaging with 5 new drummers or music channels every day, and then I am. Oh my gosh. Oh, and then if and you said if when somebody follows me on Instagram or whatever,
Oh yeah, yeah.
send
That's
them
the other thing. Yeah,
a message, and
yeah.
I
So on
copied your
Twitter or on
message.
Instagram, I send them a hi, thanks for the follow. Oh, this is my YouTube channel, by the
Yeah.
way. Let's talk. So yeah, I think that helps as well. And actually, I picked that up from someone very early on, before I was even in the Drummers to Watch community. It's a guy called Jack Pryor, but he seems to have stopped making covers a long time ago. I haven't seen him for probably about a year and a half on YouTube. He was one of the first people that I connected with. That's how we connected. He sent me a message when I followed him. I was like, that's a good idea, and I've been doing it ever since.
Well, I've noticed a difference, right? Like, and we have TikTok, but we our TikTok content is only for Attic Custom Drums. So like, but I still, when somebody follows us on TikTok, which is a totally different beast, I'm learning than any of the other social medias. It's weird. Um, I'm sending them messages too, as well as on Instagram. Not definitely. I'll forget. I'm like, crap. I didn't do the 5 drummer thing today. But I noticed that when I'm consistent with those things, I'll see number bumps. 5, 10. In a
Yeah.
couple days, which is I'm like, okay, there's obviously something to this. So if you're out there, with a new channel and you're like, no, it's not going to happen overnight anyway. Like, and I'm going to say Ash and I because we're here. Even the numbers that we're at, which we realize, like, it's not like Quibus or Cooper drummer that have millions, but they didn't
Mm,
start with that. Like, so these little things that Ash has shared with us today and with me, um, if you're consistent with those things, you'll start to see growth, and it'll just keep going. But you got to put in the time, the effort, and know that it's a journey, it's a process.
mm,
You might get lucky,
yeah.
post a video and like
Yeah.
have it go viral, but I think that's an exception to the rule, wouldn't you think?
Yeah. Yeah, and something that I changed this year, and I'm really glad I did, is that I think particularly to the end of last year, I was oversaturating myself a bit. I was doing 2 covers a week. Some weeks there would be a collaboration every week as well, and maybe even a fourth video sometimes. So full videos a week. Some weeks I was putting out, it was too much. And since dropping down to the 1 cover a week, fortnightly collaborations, and then now and again another video, I'm getting more views on that video than if I was doing 4 in a week. You know what I mean? Like before,
Yeah.
I'd be happy getting 100 views on a video. Now I'm getting consistently closer to 200, sometimes over 200 now
Yeah.
on one video, rather than 30 or 50 on full videos a week. So, and
Right.
I think that's what happened. I don't know, or is it because I'm doing a better song because I'm spending longer on it? I don't know. But
It's
since
both.
the change,
Yeah.
yeah, since the change, my numbers have grown that way as well. Is I was doing too much, and one of the reasons I changed it is because it was just becoming a chore, and I wasn't enjoying it anymore. But nobody was putting the pressure on me. It was putting pressure on me to keep up with the schedule.
Right.
So I'm glad I took it back and relaxed it, and I'm enjoying it again. And yes, like I think it was my first cover this year. I did Billie Jean, so really basic. I played it basic as well. And I don't know if it was because it was in the holidays, because it was the 1st of January, but I got 450 views on it, and I was like, how did that come from? Because I took a week off for the first time. I took a week off, like the after Christmas Day. I didn't publish anything to the new year. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's crazy.
450, 450 views on Billie Jean. And it wasn't even anything special. Thank God.
MJ. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need a
Um,
need a need a view bump. Do a Michael Jackson
yeah.
song.
Yeah. Or, take a week off, or wait till
Yeah.
everyone's on like a global holiday where they got nothing else better to do than watch YouTube. That's
Maybe
what
we
it could.
experiment. We'll do take a
Yeah.
week off, release on a holiday, and then the next holiday we'll take a week, or we'll just do a Michael Jackson song and see which one is the most potent.
Well, saying that, I need to work out your American holidays because I swear most of my viewership is in America. So I used to post my videos at 10 a.m. UK time. So that would be 5 in the morning for you, right? 5 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. And now I think today I did a 3:30, which is pretty bad at maths.
Yeah,
It's like 10 o'clock in the morning. So you guys are up and
right.
about, and I'm getting like 30 views in the first hour. It's like, whoa, where did that come from? So I'm gonna have to start doing. I'm gonna have to be on your timeline. I'm gonna get jet lag for work, but I don't care. I need to go on American time for my publishing. I think because
I can
that's
travel, but I'm
definitely
exhausted. Yeah,
yeah, that seems to be where my viewership is in America very much. So.
that's awesome.
Perhaps it's the accent, like you said. You guys like the accent. So.
That's why I subbed. No, I'm kidding. I'm just joking. I didn't know I didn't know you were from England when I subbed to you. Way back, way back in the early days. You know, a few
Yeah, I
years ago.
don't really remember when I started talking on camera. I started doing monthly updates probably a year ago, probably. I think it was 2021. So I probably didn't speak before on camera until that point. So there would have been a good year of no one hearing my voice ever.
Yeah, gotcha. And then it always surprises me because like I don't know, like I don't know if like being from the States, like I just assume that everybody's from the States. And so then when they talk, you're like, oh, clearly they're not, you know. Uh,
Yeah,
and I think that's okay, right? It's still acceptable to talk about different accents, right? We're not gonna have to
yeah.
delete this part of the video.
No, that makes sense.
um, let's see here. There's one more thing I was gonna ask you before we wrap up, but talked about growth. Okay, yeah. So here's the question that I'm kind of trying to work in to ask everybody because I love it and everybody has a different kind of angle on it. Um, somebody that's watching this and it's like, man, I want to play drums. Like,
Mm.
you know, what would your recommendation be to them as they begin?
I wouldn't have progressed so quickly or stuck at it if I didn't have a teacher. You got to find the right teacher as well. I mean, me and John, John Joy, we connect on a personal level as well. So I think if we hadn't have met with me being his student, I think we would have been great mates anyway. So, find someone to teach you that you can connect with on a personal level. And you got to be committed, especially, it's it's funny, like he tells me some of his students, the only time they play the drums is at their weekly lesson with him. It's like, oh, how can you do that? Like,
Right.
and you not get, how can you get better at something doing it once a week? So I kind of went overboard, and at one point I was practicing 3 times a day for like at least 45 minutes, if not an hour. Nowadays I do about twice a day, at least once a day. But there's an app called Streaks where you can say, okay, I've done this today, and I have that set up for playing the drums and practicing what he sent me to do. So get that routine. You need that routine. But also, if you don't have a kit, don't worry. Get a practice pad. I mean, I didn't. I started off with my practice pad, and actually, I've just, I don't use it a lot. I've started using it again recently because of the technique stuff that I'm doing with John. And which I discovered a great word as well, ratamacoon. Is it
Oh,
ratamacoon?
yeah, that's a yeah.
Ratamacoon. Ratamacoon. It's great word.
I
Um,
remember that from
but yeah,
drum.
so yeah, but it's a ratamacoon. So it's the drag, right? But yeah, I've started doing that. But the practice pad feels amazing. I wish they made a drum kit that felt like a practice pad. Honestly, it feels so nice to play on there. So don't worry about getting a kit. Start doing lessons, get a practice pad, and if you're going to stick at it, and if you are going to practice pretty much every day, then look into getting the kit. But you definitely need to be committed to it, very much so. If you want to do it for fun, you can. You don't have to go as extreme, and you don't have to spend a fortune on a kit. But just make sure you play more than your one lesson a week would be my advice. And you're gonna have to learn the sucky stuff like rudiments, but I wasn't given a choice. It was like, okay, we're gonna do this today. It's called a rudiment. Okay. I,
It's a random.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. Um, but yeah, and with the learning to read music, see, I don't really get a lot of comments about it anymore. Certainly when I started as a YouTuber, it was very much about, oh, you're playing along to drum sheet music. You don't see that very often. It was like, oh, is that a good thing or a bad thing? And at first, people approached it like it was a negative thing, but actually nowadays, and I've actually had people who was questioning it, and then they, in the same kind of conversation, actually, you know what? You keep at it. It's working, and it's, what I mean. A lot of people pick up on it now. In fact, I was messaging someone today who was saying, "Look, you should really start playing by ear." I was like, "Yeah, just remember, I've only been playing, nearly 3 years." And I don't really know how to play by ear. But the one thing that did stick with me from the conversation and something that I do want to look at is, well, how about putting your own style on things and your own twist on it? Which made me think, and I can't shake the thought, what is my style? I don't think I have a style because I just do covers, right? So I guess as I advance, something I would really like to do in the future, I guess, is discover what is my style of drumming because I don't feel like I have one. It's
Gotcha.
whatever the sheet music says, right? So that would be interesting to find out. But I don't know how I discover it, to be
Well,
honest.
I think that part of the answer to that question is because you're Ash Wells and you're not anybody else, already your approach to even music on a sheet of paper, you play it a certain way. If I played the same sheet music, it might have a slightly different feel because we're both unique, you know. So,
Mm,
but I understand what you're saying, and it's like
yeah,
you're we're playing with tracks that had a certain drum part like in there. So how do you honor that and then still kind of make it your own?
yeah, yeah,
That's at least that's kind of my
yeah. But
point of
I don't know what my own is.
gotcha,
I have no my own. I don't know what that is. So
gotcha.
I guess yeah. So I guess very much over the next year, I would like to discover my own sound and my own. What is my style? If I do start improvising, and it's something I can work on with my drum teacher. Once we've done grade three, we'll be like, right, I want to start being me on the drums. So I think that's quite exciting.
That's
So
awesome.
watch this space. I've only just literally started thinking about it.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, I think that could be quite exciting in the direction for my channel to go. But I will still ultimately always want to do a note for note cover on certain songs
gotcha.
for sure.
Well, that's
And
cool.
it's working. It seems to be working.
Well, dude, your time, your timekeeping too is really good because you don't get that from sheet music. You know what I mean? You can either you either understand that what I'm playing is in time with the music or you don't. And you definitely get that. So like learning to play by ear, your timing will be all over it. It'll just be like breaking away. And I think it's good to do both. It's good to be able to read music. I think
Yeah.
and it's good to like my sight reading is like probably at a beginning level and I've spent so much time playing by ear. So like I'm kind of in the opposite
Yeah.
situation than you. But what I like about what you're saying is you've been playing for 3 years. Let me see here. Okay, I'm going to date myself. 12. I've been playing for 35 years, and I'm not like professionally or consistently, So like, because I sometimes I'm like I should be way better after playing for 35 years. But you're always learning something. Whether you're just starting, you're 3, 5, 10, 15, 40 years into the journey, and even the great drummers of our generation, this generation and the last, they'll tell you they're always like, oh, how do they do that? Even though we're like, what do you need to learn? They're still learning, and I think that's the key to being better is
Yeah.
keeping that. I've noticed this, and this got me thinking. That's something I can start working on. And that's I mean, and I'm inspired all the time. I'm like, I need to work on that. I need to be better disciplined about. that. If we stop learning, I think we have an arrogance problem because
Yeah.
if we stop learning because we think we've known it all, and then we're not a, and then I always want to be approachable, not because I
Actually,
think I'm
my
great.
yeah, yeah, my mum asked me the other day. She was over looking after the kids. So you still do your drum lessons? I was like, yeah, every week. So you still need them? It's like, well, I haven't really thought about it, but yeah, no, I'm always going to have a drum lesson going because there's always something. You're right, like you said, there's always something. There's always another grade. There's always something that
Right.
I want to get better at. I think I had this conversation with my teacher the other day. He still has drum lessons with someone. Like, you know what I mean? So to keep his stuff fresh and improving himself. So yeah, I don't think it would ever stop.
Yeah. Learning is a process. It's an ongoing
Yeah,
process, always
yeah,
and
yeah.
forever. Well, dude, this has been so fun. I have absolutely just enjoyed hearing about, the background of you and your channel and your family and movies, and we're kind of movie nerds here too. Um,
Yeah.
we are suckers for that, and so like I love when I see your film stuff because I'm like, that is so cool. Um, but anyways, so it's been great. Hey, everybody, I have a hard time imagining that you haven't done this already. If you haven't, pause this video, click on the link in the description and in the pinned comment. Go to Ash's channel, Drums by Ash Wells. Crush that subscribe button, like with a like a passion. Like just hit it, but don't hit it like this because it'll break your screen. Whatever.
But
Go.
before you hit that one, hit this one on this channel. I don't know
Oh,
where would it be? Over here?
it's
Hit the like and subscribe in this channel.
I never know where they are. They're
Where is
around
it?
here somewhere. But yes, so Ash, thank you so much. It has been a pleasure. You're a fantastic guy, and a great drummer. I'm just really enjoying the process of watching you continue to grow and mature as a musician. It's really really exciting. And again, the timekeeping is impeccable. I've never heard, even when you've said like I struggled with this one, I've never heard your timekeeping being off, and that's a big skill. I like to push, like I like to kind of get out in front of the beat a little bit, so I have to be careful with that. But anything you want to leave us with before we sign off?
No, just appreciate, you having me on. This has been an absolute pleasure. And thank you for all you do for our community as well,
Oh,
because you're very inspiring and, especially those custom drums. Go buy one now. E-kit's coming soon, right?
that's
E-version's
that's
coming soon.
we are talking about trying to do. You and I talked about it. Loretta and I have talked about it. Trying to build an E snare that's an acoustic drum, but with the electronic part. So who
Yeah.
knows? Who knows what'll happen? Well, Ash, thank you again. It has been a pleasure, and thank you for all you
Pleasure.
do for
Thank
the
you for
community.
having me.
Anytime. You guys, thanks for stopping by the Drum Attic and the Backbeat. We will see you next time.